How are you? It's a Dr. MUSO. Today, I want to talk about the results of the 1896-97 uprisings. I want to talk about what transpired in 1897. The Ndebele, the Shona people, they were defeated in these uprisings. Why were they defeated? It is because some Shona people, they entered late these uprisings. Their chiefdoms did not inspire, encourage them to participate in these uprisings. And as a result of that, now we see that the uprisings were a failure. The Shona, the Ndebele were eventually defeated. Why? It was because of entering these uprisings later. Then we also talk about the Ndebele. They were also crippled. Why were they crippled? It is because Lobengula, the king of the Ndebele, he had fled his kingdom. Remember, in 1893-94, Lobengula fled his kingdom on the Anglo-Ndebele War that exposed the Ndebele. So these uprisings, they failed. They could not succeed. Why? It is because the Ndebele did not have a king. Although the Indunas tried to chip in, although Nyamanda, the son of Lobengula, tried to assist, but still these uprisings could not be what are successful. Then you move on. You can also talk about the issue of ammunitions. The Ndebele, the Shona people, they had to use spears, they had to use stones, they did not have superior weapons during these uprisings, so that led these uprisings to fail. They were overpowered by the whites. Why? It is because the whites had superior weapons, they had guns, they used horses, they were better equipped. So that on its own, it led them to be in a position of defeating the Ndebele and the Shona. The whites also, they had better communication methods. That again, it was an advantage to them, and it became easy for them to defeat the local people. The local people, they were also discouraged by what they were told by the religious leaders. Mbuyaneanda, Sekuru Kagovi, Chaminuka, remember Chaminuka and Mambo, those religious leaders, they told the people that the white man's gun was not going to harm them. So because of that, now they joined the uprisings. But guess what? A number of them, they were killed. Why? Because of the guns that the whites were using. So people were now discouraged by what they were told by the religious leaders. They were not going to die, but they died. A number of them died during these uprisings. So that again discouraged the people, and we see that these uprisings were not successful. So we see that when the Ndebele, the Shona were defeated, what happened? The whites were now in total control of Mashona land and also Matebele land. So that on its own, it led them now to control everything that was now taking place in Mashona land and Matebele land. So after these uprisings now, we now have a new government in Zimbabwe, which was now called colonial administration. So they were now under a colony. So Mashona land, Matebele land, they were going to be mixed. They were now administered by the company of Cecil John Rhodes. So colonial administration was now in charge from this period 1897 and 98 up to about 1902-03 when Cecil John Rhodes died. He died in 1902. So when he died now, we see an administrative government now coming in place. So from that time again up to 1980, our country, it was under the domain of the whites, the BSAC, who came in 1890 after the signing of the Rad concession of October 1888. Thank you so much. It's Dr. MUSO.